You've been thinking about starting your business. You've got a few ideas, maybe even a niche. Now is the time to look at what exactly you can help your clients with. What should you include? What should you charge? How do you make it so irresistible without overcomplicating everything that they will say yes to you? In this video, I will walk you through the top 3 key things you need to know to build your first business offer, even if you have zero experience, zero audience, and no clue where to start. This is the approach that I used to start building my business while working full time, and the approach I use with my clients now. So let's have a closer look. What, how, and how much? These are the 3 components that I want to talk to you about. A product is what you deliver, an offer is how you package it. Most new business owners spend weeks obsessing over delivery. Should I do an online course, or should I do some kind of one-on-one work? Should I do a group program? But none of that matters if the offer doesn't solve a painful problem. I would suggest you spend more time on understanding the problem that your client has and what should be the desired end state they want to get to as the result of working with you, rather than you thinking whether you should do 4 sessions or 6 sessions or whether you should do some kind of online course or etc. It can happen later. I like to look at the service offering as the meal served at the restaurant. It consists of 3 main elements: the product or service you deliver, aka meal itself, focused on providing tangible outcomes to your client. This is the core. Then there is the packaging of your service, aka how you serve your meal. This is your offer, and it can be in the format of webinar, workshop, or one-on-one 6 months program working with you. And then obviously there is a third very important component, which is price. All of them matter. All of them are interconnected. So now let's have a look at the first component, which is the what part, the product itself. Every strong offer answers these 3 questions. Who is it for? What result does it create? And how does it get them there? There is a value equation that Hormozi uses in his book 100 Million Offers that summarizes the components that you have to follow when you think of outcomes you're promising to your customer. So initially you think of who exactly we're helping here. We spoke about defining your ideal SCP in one of my previous videos, which you can actually check out here. And then you defined what value you will give them with your service that you will package in your offer. Value equals the dream outcome that they're gonna get or wanna get, multiplied by perceived likelihood of achievement, so how probable that they will achieve that, and divided by the time that it takes them to achieve that outcome, multiplied by the effort and the sacrifice they have to make. So your goal is to make the dream outcome bigger and more tangible, make them feel confident that they will achieve that result, help them get that result as fast as possible, and reduce the friction and reduce the time and the sacrifices as much as it's possible. Let's see how this plays out with a real example. So the very common statement that you can see that many coaches or consultants use is, I help people start the business. However, the right way, for example, as I use in my offer, is helping corporate pros start their 1-person service business from scratch in 6 months and make their first $10,000 with no overwhelm, no big startup costs, with just 10 hours per week with my Clarity Trust Action method. Same idea, wildly different impact. This is the difference between a generic service and an irresistible offer with specificity. By the way, if you find this video valuable and it really is giving you the insights and progress with your business idea, you will like my 5-day free course where I talk about your 90-day priority plan and what needs to be done in order for you to make your first $2,000 sale within first 90 days. Absolutely free, packed with value, hitting your mailbox in mini lessons for 5 days. Grab it at the link below. So now let's look at the second part, the offer itself. You can use this formula on how you package your offer. I help, and then type of a person who you help, go from the problem statement to a result in time frame through your method. For example, I help burnout corporate moms reclaim 10 hours a week in 8 weeks using time blocking and personal productivity coaching. Or an example of my current offer that I just gave you, helping corporate pros, so who start their one-person service-based business from scratch, which is what, in 6 months, the time frame, and make their first 10K the result with no overwhelm and no big startup costs, with just 10 hours per week, and with my Clarity Trust Action method, so my specific method that I use as part of my one-on-one coaching work. This becomes your elevator pitch. You can then think about the best way to deliver it. There are different schools of thought. Some say you should have only one high ticket offer when you start. Others suggest you should have some kind of offer stack. I'm leaning towards the second and realize that it is easier to have a couple of options available for your customer when you start. For example, I offer a 2-hour workshop for $800. If the person liked our work together and is ready to commit and work with me one-on-one for the next few months, they sign up for my one-on-one coaching program, which is currently running at better pricing of $3,000 as I'm testing my new offer. They pay additional $2,200 to get to 10 sessions package that I just mentioned as my part of my one-on-one work, and it becomes cheaper for them to do that than to pay for additional 2-hour sessions all the time. So I have 2-layer offering at this stage: mini offer and main offer. You can always try different variations and test it and see how it goes. The only way how you would know whether it works for you is when you try again and again and analyze the results. And the last part of your offer is the how much part, which is the price. When you are just starting, you might feel weird charging for something you haven't delivered before. So here is what I recommend and what I do with my clients. We start with free or better clients, but with very clear terms. They commit to showing up fully, they give feedback, they agree to testimonial if you deliver results. Then move to better pricing, which is 50% of what others charge, roughly. Deliver like it's a premium service. Build proof, the testimonials, the wins, the screenshots, the stories. Once you have that proof, you increase your price, not based on confidence or how you feel, but based on evidence and the results you get from your clients. Here is what most new business owners get wrong. They obsess over the product, they overthink the price, and they delay the launching because it's not perfect yet. Don't do that. Instead, start with who you help and what problem you solve. Use the value equation to make your offer compelling. Focus on results, not deliverables. Start free or better pricing. Get proof, then raise your price. And remember, you don't need a fancy funnel or perfect branding at the start. You need an offer that gets people the results that they want and make them excited to say yes. I know how hard it might be to move forward, especially if you have been working for someone for 10 plus years and you feel paralyzed and you don't even know where to start. That is why I highly encourage you to check out my video here where I summarize top fears that are holding you back potentially from starting your business, pursuing your idea, and what do you need to do about those. I hope you got some value about how to start crafting your offer. So I really want to encourage now for you to go and start crafting your one-page offer and let me know in the comments which one specific problem you're planning to help solve your ideal customer. See you next week. With care, Anna.